What is up, everybody?
Hey,
welcome to episode 2
The Deuce
of the Always Be Gaming podcast. I'm Corbin and Matt, your host, joined as always with Matt Gant.
What's up?
How you doing, man?
Life's good today, man.
Life's good.
Yeah, we had some fun this weekend, didn't we?
It's a Monday, yeah. It's a good weekend.
Yeah.
Can't complain about that. Well, thank y'all for joining us. It's a cool episode, cool little time that we had this weekend. A lot of stuff happened. Can't wait to talk about everything with y'all. Matt, anything on your mind right now?
Oh man, I'm wondering if I'm going to be able to remember everything that we saw this weekend because it was the Fortnite World Cup.
Yeah.
And there was a con going on in our hometown that we went to, and there was a lot of info there. So
yeah, it's crazy.
See if we can break it all down. But that's just all running up in here.
There was a lot of stuff that happened, dude. It was a busy weekend. Had my parents come in town, which was nice to have them in.
Yeah. Did they get to see the studio here?
Yeah, they hung out in the studio. They thought it was
say?
pretty cool. Got a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah.
This nice new brick wall just installed back behind here with this accent lighting. It's just absolutely amazing.
As a realtor, I have to say, adds tons of value.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Well, awesome. Well, before we kind of jump into stuff, make sure that y'all check out our website, it's actually called abgperformancewear.com. There's a little bit of information on there about us. You can find where all the podcasts are available on there as well. You can also find a bunch of merchandise that has a bunch of shirts and hats and a coffee mug and stuff that'll just go along that support us, kind of helps us to continue to grow with everything and make this better every time.
You're gonna hook me up with that blue brim.
Yeah, that blue brim. It's coming in.
Rim.
I think you call that a brim.
It's a brim.
I think it's a brim.
Like kind of like a grayish, like.
Yeah.
It almost looks heathered. I know it's not, but
they're pretty. I think it actually is heathered.
Is it heathered?
Yeah,
okay,
I think
that's the one I want.
all of that is heathered. There's a camo one too, so no one will see the top of your head. Okay. Yeah. Whatever you want to do.
Yeah. Cool.
But yeah. Again, abgperformancewear.com. Y'all be sure to head over there and check that out. You can see it up there in the top, right above me. Awesome. Well, dude, I think we should first talk about Fortnite World Cup.
Yeah, come on. That's the biggest thing. Let's talk about the big thing. So
biggest thing that has happened in the online gaming, and I'd say in history of it.
Yeah, there was a lot of different records that they broke. The payout one, that's the biggest one, the one that everybody pays attention to. It looks like they had a typo, I think is what Dr. Lupo said. He goes, if you look at the number we're giving out, it looks like a typo, but I can guarantee you it's not.
Yeah.
It was 30 million total in prizes. And then the duos, solos, 3 million to each of those team World Cup champions. And then I think the creative was like 1.4?
Yes, it was a big number. I don't remember.
I've got it here. Where is it at? 1.345. How do you come up with that?
1.345. That was just for first place, though, wasn't it?
That's just for first place.
Okay, but they gave out a lot of money there. Yeah. That was all to charity, too.
The
first day they had a big event there, introduction to the World Cup. They had everyone hanging out. There was a bunch of things going on. I saw a lot of pictures of the activities going on outside and stuff going on inside. They had a lot of big-time streamers there.
Yeah.
A lot of big personalities for Fortnite and everything. It looked like a really cool time.
Well, and then if you were watching at home, too, all of the different, what do they call that, AR?
Yeah, augmented reality.
Augmented reality stuff was really, really well done.
Yeah.
You see a lot of that like in pro football games and stuff now.
Right.
You see, stuff pop up on the field and above the field and all that, but it's awesome that they're putting that in. It looked really clean.
Dude, the production that Fortnite put on for this whole thing, or Epic Games, whoever actually put this on, I believe it would just be Epic Games.
Yeah.
Unreal.
Yeah,
unreal. They did so good.
That was awesome. And then, man, did you see the Fortnite dancers? The actual dancers that they had like in the costumes and stuff?
So like when they were introducing all these creative teams down on the field. This was put on and at the place where they hold the U.S. Open, a tennis tournament, up in New York City in New York. So it's an outside venue. no cover. People are sitting outside in the conditions that are given. Luckily, it didn't have any rain or anything like that because it is not enclosed.
That arena was not enclosed?
And not enclosed, yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Nah.
You couldn't tell by watching.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they have, like, computers and stuff in there. This is the best they could do with all that money.
It's crazy.
That was a big gamble.
Wow. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong on that, but I believe it's all
if we're
all
wrong,
open.
Google it and tell us in the chat because we are watching the chat.
Yeah.
That's wild.
It was
That's
wild,
cool.
man. They did a super good job with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the first day they had this big creative competition, and now the creative mode on Fortnite I think is super cool. It brings a whole different element of the game to it. It plays very custom. It doesn't play like the battle royale that you're used to seeing with Fortnite. They did a mode that kind of looked like King of the Hill. Yep. It reminded me a lot of Halo, kind of that style of holding a competition. I mean, holding a point, like a capture the flag. I guess King of the Hill. That's a good reference there.
Yeah, that's King of the Hill.
Yeah, they had. How many teams did they have in that creative?
I showed 8 that got paid out.
Yeah, I think it was 8 teams in total. So
yeah,
they had all these 8 teams, and they came down to that field, as we were describing before. They had this whole stage in the middle that was just surrounded with monitors all around the outside. And so every team got introduced. When they would have these dancers behind them that were dressed up in the Fortnite costumes from characters on there. I'm sure those people got paid.
They got paid. I don't know how much. They probably showed up, and if you weren't aware of what Fortnite was, and you got this gig, and they said, "Here, just here are the dances that are in the game. Learn
Maybe
these.
so.
Here's tryouts." I mean, there had to.
They could have been people that don't even play the game and just dressed up as these people.
Yeah, but there was a vetting process even for the dancers. They had a dance tryout.
No, yeah, definitely. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, I mean, and these people are showing up and they're going, "Look at all these nerds!
Look at these people just watching us dance, dressed up as like
$1 million and
a banana."
I got paid $10 an hour to be here, and I'm dancing my ass off.
I'm wearing this banana suit, and people want autographs.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
that's
so
funny.
They're like, that person went home and bought a PlayStation.
Yeah.
And now they're practicing Fortnite because of all the money they saw get paid out. But
it's crazy.
Here's the only thing that bothered me about creative. I loved it.
Yeah.
And I love the creative because I think it brings kind of a breath of fresh air. Like, I don't know, in other games too, like there's times like in Rocket League, like you play really hard in the main mode, and then you're like, you know what, I just need kind of like something to just kind of take a fresh breath of air. I'm going to go play items mode, which is like so less serious, and it's, it's kind of it's not like the true way of playing, but it's kind of just fun and lighthearted.
Yeah.
And I think you need that in a game as serious as Fortnite because there's a lot of sweat in that. I mean, you can get in a match and just be like, man, I'm not winning. Let's just go take a breath. So that's kind of what I feel like creative is, and so it's kind of a cool another side of the game within the game. But here was the only thing that bothered me. You had 8 teams. All of the team names had alliterations with the exception of one, and that was Llama Record Company. So you had Fish Fam, Funky Fighters, Raven's Revenge, and then now I'm thinking like Legends of the Hidden Temple, like Parrots, all that stuff. Yeah, and then you had the Little Whip Warriors, so that alliterates, right? Chicken Champions, Sunshine Soldiers, Cuddle Crew, and then you have Llama Record Company. Like, come on, guys.
Llama Record. That's like your everyday just man for hire that you pick up off the street.
The Llama Record.
Oh, we're the Llama Record Company.
Sounds like an Amazon special or something like that. That'd be
for sure, like an old timey recording company or something.
Yeah, I mean, but anyway, that bothered me. But
yeah.
Anyway, it was cool.
I thought it was super cool. The first mode they did, like I was saying, is this King of the Hill mode. They had all these 8 teams start on the outside of the map.
Yep.
And there were 3 points to hold, like ABC, that whenever your main person, your team captain, was in that zone, you would start collecting points.
Yep.
I don't remember how many points it was per second or anything like that. Do you?
I think is this the one mode where there were different ones across the level?
Yeah.
Okay, so it depended on how deep into the stage and the time that you were. different ones would open up at different times. I think it was right.
Right. No, it started with the 3. It started with
Mhm.
ABC, and then 7 minutes into the game, or it was.
Middle.
I think it was 7 minutes in or 7 minutes remaining. One of the two. There was a middle, smaller point that opened and was like triple the amount of points.
That one was 7 points per second held.
Okay.
So that one was a lot, and so but it was high risk, high reward because you're right in the middle. You're open to everybody, and you got to just hold it down.
Right.
So that was actually really, really cool.
I think if they put that into the normal game, I would definitely play that a lot.
I think it's coming.
I think that would be super fun.
Because they announced that right there.
Okay.
That was, I think, if I'm remembering this right.
I know that they have played that mode in a different summer tournament that they did before.
Oh, okay. Cool. I think they said that whatever you're seeing here is coming to the game.
That'd be cool.
That is super cool, and we need to get our rust off our tools here because we played some Fortnite last night.
It was
sloppy.
We're on the way to the World Cup, I'd say.
All right, yeah, probably not, but it's literally probably been a year since I played.
Yeah,
this has me hyped to play.
Literally, the last time I played, it was the 1 year anniversary with that bus with the 1 year candle on it.
I remember that.
And I get on this time, and it's the same music, and it's the 2 year. I'm like,
happy birthday!
Wow,
Fortnite.
It's been a year since I played this game.
So let's see. So Rob City, you said it has a retractable roof. Arthur Ashe Stadium. So
Arthur Ashe. So that's right.
So it does have the retractable roof. That makes sense when you have all that gear.
Yeah, I'm glad. Yeah, it was kind of scaring me. I'm glad. Yeah, good to know.
No, that's cool. So that was day one.
But they also had that game mode. Then they also had a prop hunt, which was pretty cool. If you ever played
that was so fun to watch.
What was it? Call of Duty had a prop hunt as well. That's pretty fun.
When was that?
I think they've had that for a while.
I don't remember that one at all. Which Call of Duty?
Maybe it was Call of Duty. Maybe I'm wrong on that. But another game had a prop hunt. But the prop hunt's pretty cool. You just pick one of these items or equipment, truck, a propane tank, all kind of things throughout the game.
A lot of the stuff that you just see just laying on the side of the road in Fortnite. So, I mean, like the most ridiculous one was like the truck. And you
truck was huge.
Truck moving along. And it's like how you miss that truck from going from here to here. I guess you're in the moment. So, as a spectator, you go, I get to see both sides.
Yeah.
So I'm like, how are these guys not figuring it out?
But that's for sure. But they all were standing in there were two teams in the tower in the middle that was really cool. It had this big dragon going up it. It looked really awesome. They did a good job on creating that. But it had this two teams were on different floors. One was above, one was a little bit below. And they would be looking out into this field that just surrounded them pretty much like a circle and trying to find these items or these props that look like they didn't fit into the normal map and shoot them and get a point for that. I believe they got a point for that. Maybe not. But either way, they wanted to stop them from getting into the tower and going down where they would accumulate points for getting props into that finish line.
I think I know the bigger the prop you pick, the more points you get.
Definitely, yeah.
Would it not then make sense that if you're the shooter in the tower, obviously the big ones are the easy ones to find, so maybe that's less points for you, but then the smaller ones, you get more points for shooting them?
Maybe
Is that how that worked?
I don't know. If not, that's a good idea.
I feel like that would be the best idea because I go, if I find the shoe or whatever the small thing is that's moving along,
right,
you ought to be rewarded more points for that.
Right.
So,
yeah, no, that's definitely a good idea.
Epic Games, if you're listening.
Pay attention. I know y'all are big listeners of the Always Be Gaming podcast, so take our advice.
That's it.
But so that was a cool game, and each of these they did 6 rounds of games and then chose a winner from these game modes. And then so the third game was what they call a death run.
Okay.
Which is pretty much an obstacle course that they've created where players have to do different jumping patterns, trying to avoid spike traps, which got pretty cool. I didn't know that you could avoid them like that.
By jumping, right?
Well, kind of like by activating it and then not going in and then going through. That's a cool little delay on stuff.
Okay.
But yeah, they had to collect coins to get the most coins and then win that round. And they also I think they did 3 rounds of that, if I'm not mistaken. But that was cool.
That's cool.
Let's see. So that was the first 3 games. So they did all 3 of those games, and each one of those game modes, they gave the winning team a silver llama. Did you see those?
Yeah, I saw that they were bringing them down and handing them to them like after each mode. So you actually got a physical version, right?
Yeah.
And then you got it. Well, it
Pretty much looked like a pinata that they were
Yeah.
bringing to them.
Yeah, it was cool.
Maybe it was filled with candy. Probably
Were
some
they
G
really?
Fuel was in there, I would
Yeah,
imagine.
I hope so. They're like the sponsor of everything. So yeah, so Fish Fam got away with the silver llama and a gold llama. So what is the gold llama? Just
Well, the
for
gold
winning?
llama was like the ultimate winning.
That's the trophy.
right. So
Okay.
each one of these rounds was for
So you won one of the modes.
you won one of the competitions
Okay.
there.
So then the Fish Fam won a silver one for winning one mode.
Yep.
Funky Fighters won a silver for a different one, and then the Chicken Champions was the third. I think Chicken Champions, was that the team with Ninja on it?
No, they
Who was
were.
He wasn't in
I
creative?
think they were the team that had the.
The Llama Record Company? The one that I detest?
I don't remember what their
Was it
name was.
the
They
whole
they were
arm?
like ice cream cones, is what they were.
Oh, no. Who was the ice cream
Let's
cones?
see this.
Yeah, take a look at that.
Okay.
It's got their icons there on the left. For those who are listening and not watching us, we are looking at an iPhone with the team names and
Oh, they were
logos
the
on
little
it.
whip.
They were the whip?
Yeah, the Whip Warriors was Ninja's
man.
team.
Okay. All right, never mind. Well, they didn't win anything, but they got, and this was charity money.
They're middle of the road. Yeah, everything was for charity.
Creative. All right, so yeah,
Mhm.
so creative was all charity money. That's
Yeah,
pretty good.
so they had that. That was a really cool thing that they did that first day,
Yep.
which started at 1 o'clock Eastern. And then they had a Pro-Am, which is, I think, the third Pro-Am that they have done for Fortnite.
Yep.
And so a bunch of these big-time streamers, well-known Fortnite players like Ninja, Tim the Tap Man, Courage JD, the list goes on of people who were out there playing. But they would have a celebrity next to them who was at least decent at playing the game, I would assume, which is why they chose some of these people.
I didn't get that. I didn't pick up on that. I felt like some of these people were there because they were a knowable face. Like there was a girl who's an actress. I don't know that she plays Fortnite. Maybe she knows a little bit.
Okay.
Right? But I think and then there was what's the name of the kid on Breaking Bad who was Homeboy's son? You know, the guy who walked around with the
Oh,
little
yeah.
things
I
on
don't know
his
his name, but yes, I know what
Right.
you're talking about.
That guy, like, I don't know that
He was out there?
Yeah, he was.
Oh, wow.
He was one of the amateurs, right?
I didn't know that.
Yeah. And I felt like Ninja had the best amateur of all time. He got Marshmello on his team.
Yeah, that was pretty
really
cool. You know what I would hate to, though, Marshmello, is you have to wear that stupid helmet at all times.
That was
When
dope.
you're playing the game, you have to have this thing on. One, it blocks your vision.
Yeah.
Two, if you like have to move real quick, I don't know. It's probably set on there pretty still.
Well, so obviously picking up kind of some like Daft Punk vibes from him because
Yeah.
you've got that, and I mean Deadmau5 and other things, but like obviously Daft Punk did it first. Daft Punk did it right too because you don't ever really get their voices, like they have like voice mod things.
Oh no, he has his normal voice.
I know. So that's what that freaked me out because whenever he was like talking into the mic during, because he did the thing I think
Right.
before the duos or the
The
solos,
solos, yeah.
and I heard his voice and I was like, that ruins it for me.
Really?
Yeah, I wanted
Oh, I thought it
to
was
hear
nice.
a
I was like-
robot or
I was
something.
like, oh, that's an actual guy. Would you think he was going to sound like a Marshmello?
I don't know what I expected. Yeah. Sound like like Stay Puft Marshmello. I don't know. But I don't know what I expected, but I didn't expect like some white guy, just like
It's
regular
probably-
dude.
Yeah, it's just some regular dude who put on this hat.
Yeah.
He makes really good music.
Yeah.
That's for
So,
sure.
The one thing I noticed about the program was that the introductions took forever.
Yeah, I didn't watch that part.
Man, they every single team. So there's 50 teams, right? And everybody had their little 30 seconds, or whatever. Man, it took forever to show off all these people, and they're getting into. Not only are they introducing everybody, but then in between certain ones, they were doing kind of like what they did before the whole World Cup, where they were doing these little highlight videos, or they were telling a little bit about people's stories or whatever. They were doing a little bit of that in between some of these introductions. So I think it was like 30 or 45 minutes from the time that they go, are y'all ready to go? And then they're like, all right, here's all your teams. And then it's like, all right, here's all their stories too. It's like, all right, 45 minutes later, are y'all ready to do this?
You know, they had to make time because I think it was only one game, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. It was just
so
the one. It was cool.
They had to make time last on that.
Hold on. Was it just the one game?
I don't know. I would think it would be.
No, it wasn't. It actually, I know for a fact it wasn't. I'm going to Google this right now while we're talking about it. But Pro-Am World Cup, I think they did 3.
You know, that would make sense because these games can go super fast and you can get eliminated super easily right in the beginning. So
I'm Googling Pro-Am World Cup format. Fortnite World Cup Creative and Pro-Am, day 1. Here's who won the celebrity tournament.
Either way, first day they had this nice creative mode tournament, which was super cool to see. I like those little game modes. I think that's a pretty cool piece of a different side of Fortnite. And then they also had the Pro-Am, which was for charity. All cool, but the main event started to come on day 2 and then following day 3.
So here's how it went. The Pro-Am was 4 rounds. Okay, and the cats who won it, it was Airwax from Switzerland. He's 24. He's a former League of Legends professional player.
Okay.
And then his duo partner is RL Grime, a trap music artist. It's pretty dope. So, and these are probably the 2 oldest people at the tournament.
Yeah.
RL Grime was 28 and Airwax was 24. So I mean, combined age of 52.
Wow.
That's a lot of life experience.
Oh yeah.
But okay, so then it says all the money from the celebrity tournament is going to charity. Everybody, regardless of how you did, got 20,000. That was cool toward a charity. But these guys, they didn't win any of their 4 rounds. They just had a ton of kills. And so they had 52 points racked up, and they won.
So these guys who won it, which was also pointed out in the chat, they also won the Pro-Am prior. So they are 2-time Pro-Am.
Back-to-back?
I don't know if they're back-to-back.
2 times?
Because I know Ninja and Marshmello won it as well. They could be back-to-back.
Yep.
They're trying to be, there's only one back-to-back, but
that's cool.
They could have won it back-to-back. But either way, it's Pro-Am. It didn't really mean that much. Good job, guys.
Yeah.
Day 2, they did the Duos tournament. Duos tournament was super cool. These guys are the top 50 best duo teams in the world. They are damn good.
Yeah, I mean, they said all of the players, so the funnel just at the very top, because this was open to anybody. If you wanted to be in the Fortnite World Cup and you owned Fortnite, it's free to play.
Yeah.
If you have it on any console or PC, 40 million people started out.
That's correct. I think that includes duos and solos.
It's both, but I'm just saying, you're in a field of 40 million people for any of these seats.
That's huge, dude. That's got to be the biggest tournament of all time.
That's insane. So anyway, these are the top. What you've got? 20
top 50 teams.
So top 50 teams.
Yeah, because it's 2 players each team.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Players.
I'm sorry, I'm horrible at math.
That's okay. That's okay.
Yeah, so
it's Monday.
Teams. Top 20 got paid out.
Top 20 got paid.
That's what it was.
Everyone got $50,000, I believe, for going there. But the top 20 teams is where the real money came in. So it was cool. They also played 6 games. This was casted by Courage JD and Dr. Lupo for the first 2 games, I believe. And
do you like one of those more than the other? Sorry.
Yeah, I like Courage.
You like? I know you do.
He is a hysterical dude.
He's cool. He's got a great voice. I like Dr. Lupo, and I just felt bad for him because everybody made fun of how old he is the whole time.
The best thing that Courage did, and no one, or Dr. Lupo at least didn't pay attention to it while he was doing his casting, and I couldn't hear any reaction from the crowd and stuff, but Courage would always throw in some little inside jokes there.
That was cool.
Oh, it was hysterical.
They team up very well.
Yeah.
I liked them together.
They did a good job.
They did a very good job.
And now I apologize. There were 2 other guys that casted during games. 3 and 4 that I do not know the names of. Do you?
Was one of them Golden Boy?
I think Golden Boy was the overall.
Was he just the hype guy on the floor?
Yeah, he was.
Okay, and he was presenting awards.
Presenting
okay,
awards,
I didn't know because
He was
I
like
was
the Terry
at this point I
Crews.
was in my car listening to it, so I didn't know who was doing it either. But I love Golden Boy.
Yeah.
He's got a really cool story. He started out in Smite Pro League, and there were people there throwing shade at him, and then he just kept working at his craft, working his way up, and then he ultimately came over to Fortnite, and that's where he's kind of been making camp for a while. Love Golden Boy.
We did a good job of that.
Yeah, I did
for sure.
So anyway,
Golden Boy and Monster D were
cool.
casting for games 3. And
So
4.
there it was. I thought I heard his voice. That's cool.
Yeah,
That's
Monster
cool.
D did a good job too. He's got a cool voice too.
That's awesome.
He's very enthusiastic as
Awesome.
well.
Yeah, and whoever's in the chat giving us this love, thank you.
Much love for sure.
Get you on the show.
But yeah, so they did a good job of that, and then Courage and Dr. Lupo cast the games 5 and 6 to wrap things up, to where they had the final winners, which were
The winners of the duo was Nyhrox and Aqua.
Nyhrox and Aqua, 2 guys
Yep.
that are both from out of the country.
Yeah, I'm looking at their flags.
USA.
I'm sad to say now.
We did a bad job.
Yeah, I don't. USA didn't even come into play until third place. One of those dudes was American. The other was Canadian. That's kind of cool. Represent North America, but yeah, I'm looking here. I don't know what either of these flags are, and I'm so sorry.
Let's see this.
Yeah,
Actually, I have this pulled up over here somewhere.
You can pull that up
Where we can.
So a
view
total
everything.
of 51 points over 6 rounds. And let's talk real quick while you're pulling that up about the format. So here's how it went. For every kill, you got 1 point. But depending on placement, too, was how many points you got. So for 11th through 15th place, if you were lower than that, you didn't get any points for your placement. But 11th through 15th was 3 points. 6th through 10th place was 5 points. 2nd through 5th place, you got 7 points. And then for the Victory Royale, you got 10 points, plus a point for every elim.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, this is Robbie. I didn't even realize. Robbie, what's up, dude? What's
What
going on, man? But yeah, they had a cool format of that. I like it. It was very even, unlike Apex Ranked League, which is terrible for their pointing system. They did a good job of keeping track of kills. Every kill counts.
Yep.
Placement really matters with everything. It's nice. But yeah, now we have it pulled up. Nyhrox and Aqua. Nyhrox, that is 2 flags from other countries.
Yeah, they are. So which one was alive there at the end? I think it was.
I think it was
No,
Aqua.
I'm thinking of the last game, and I'm sorry. Actually, the Victory Royale on Game 6 was not the people who came in first. So
No,
it was
doesn't
not.
matter.
Yeah.
These guys won $3 million, split evenly maybe, depending on how you look at the kill count. I would distribute that money.
Yeah, if you're the
According
guy,
to kills.
if you're the guy who you died
Maybe you
early
got the
game
wins.
and
Yeah,
you,
dude.
and your friend carried you to victory.
Here, dude, take this
Hey,
500
know
grand.
this
I
is
got
gonna
the
be
rest
awkward,
of this,
but
bro.
I mean, I was your partner. And
How much was your
50,
flight over here?
50%.
Okay, here's that.
That's right. And here's your dinner money.
But no, they did a good job. I don't think either one carried one another. Obviously, they won the whole damn thing.
So cool.
So yeah, they did a good job there. So that was that. 1st through 10th made some serious dough.
A lot of scrum.
And then 11th through 20th, all 100 grand. That's still some good money there. Not complaining about that.
I think
one bit.
No, I wouldn't complain one bit. But the thing about that is like, okay, so look at the point system here. If you go down to the bottom and you were the peeps that you were like, you're at 24 points. You're going into the last 2 rounds. Like,
yeah,
unless you get the Victory Royale, you're stuck in this money, right?
Which you could.
So, but actually, you know what? Here's the crazy part. Look at the bottom and look at the top. The spread from top to bottom there was only 6 points.
Yeah.
So, what was 10th place? That's what I want to know.
10th place was 31 point. Yeah.
Just to double your money, one more elim would have made the difference.
That's crazy.
Wild. That's a tight spread. So
that's like you're sitting there thinking, how did I not get that kill?
Right.
I did all the damage to that guy.
That guy was.
What they would have done?
1%.
They would probably just have to split all that up.
Yeah.
If someone ended up with a tie on that place there.
So I guess my point would be is never give up. If you're in the duos tournament and you're going in the last game, even one elim may have doubled your money there.
Dude, honestly, that's the way you got to look at everything.
Everything in life.
Especially like a big tournament like this. I'm sure that these guys got frustrated.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You would get so frustrated playing this. But it comes down to game 5 and 6. You're like, shit, dude, I'm sitting here at 24 points. There's no way I'm going to make any money on this game. So, you know what? I'm just going to go for a couple kills. Yeah. I'll hang out, whatever. I'm done with this. That's probably how some of these guys are feeling, you think?
Oh, 100%. And I feel that way when I'm not even playing for money.
Yeah.
So I can't imagine how they feel. Now, alternatively, look at the guys. They just won $3 million. And they're going down to the Golden Boys calling them down to get their trophy. These guys look like it's just another day.
Dude, yeah, they weren't excited at all.
No. And I would be, you and me would be hugging and jumping.
Oh, my gosh.
And crying. And, I mean, it would just be a big moment because we know how much money that is.
Yeah, that's exactly it. The reason I think they were like that, they
kids.
Okay, we won it. That's super cool. $1.5 million each. Sweet.
Right.
What does that mean?
No.
They don't know what that means to them.
Now, and I was thinking about this on the way over here. I was thinking about it is lifestyle changing money. I don't know that it's so.
You're not going back to anything normal.
No, I mean you're changing your lifestyle forever. And if you're smart, you're setting a course for a new future. I don't know that I could live the rest of my life on $1.5 million.
No,
probably not.
No.
But that changes your life if you do the right stuff with it. If you go out and buy Bugatti and like a big house, you're screwed. You're gonna have to continue to earn more money.
Yeah.
But if you invest it or do something wise, that is a huge jump. Especially they were 16-year-olds. These two?
I don't know how old these guys were.
They were young.
They were young.
Pups.
Yeah.
Young pups.
That's for sure.
So, but yeah, they're walking down there to go get the money, and they're asking them like what they're gonna do with it. Like, buy a car, like.
Yeah, they had no idea.
I'd be
maybe they were just in the moment and kind of just taking it in as gaming nerds would. Be like, oh, yeah, no, I'm just an introvert. Don't want to go out here and really celebrate anything. Can I go back and play another game now or something?
Yeah. I'm going to buy the second PC. It's going to stream.
So what are you gonna, I'm going to probably buy some more V-Bucks with this. Guaranteed.
That's awesome. Oh my gosh!
But yeah, they did a cool job. The duos was super cool.
Yeah.
These guys are just incredible to watch play this game that I get a headache watching. But I enjoyed it. It's fun. Well, yeah, man. Anything else about the duos?
No. Congrats to Aqua and Nyhrox.
Yeah, dude, for sure. Congrats to those guys. Congrats to like all these people, 1st through 5th. That's huge.
Yeah.
Rest of you guys do some work.
Yeah. Yeah, there's always next year. Nyhrox and Aqua, I did pull up their Twitter accounts before we started. Looks like they're both just having a lot of fun.
Yeah, they both got verified.
Yeah, they did.
They got their
the check box right next to it. Yeah, so, but yeah, I mean, if you're young and you just won $1.5 million.
Twitter, give me that check mark, dude. At Corbin Absher on Twitter and Instagram.
The only, one and only.
Yeah,
not to be confused with the others.
Yeah, there's people who want to act. But yeah, awesome. Well, on to day 3, Sunday, fun day, solos tournament.
Yeah, that was a great climax to the tournament. I think that's the day when I had not seen this many Twitch viewers on anything in any recent history.
Did you see what the count was on Twitch?
Yeah, it was like 400,000+.
I know they had over all platforms over a million people watching at one single time.
Yes, but that's because you had some of the big name streamers like Ninja and Tim and some of those guys.
Oh, for sure.
They had the direct feed plugged into theirs, so you might tune in them.
Well, they had it on that.
Yeah.
They had it on all these big guys' Twitch's stream, but they also had it going on YouTube, on Facebook, on any platform you could stream it from. That's where they had it going.
I watched on Twitch, but they were saying if you were watching on YouTube that there were like some other cool like ways to watch. Like, so there was like a top-down view of the map, and like you could go watch each individual players.
Well, you could from Fortnite's website. From Fortnite's website, they had a watch little place where you could go, and to where you could watch the main Fortnite stream of it, which had all the casters and everything, and then you could just watch the map and see how players are moving, and then you could go towards each player and watch everything there.
Right. Yeah, that's really
Which
cool.
is definitely, that's a pretty cool little feature. I don't know why anyone would watch the map at all unless you're just a boring person and
if you're
love
like an
map
analytics
movements.
guy, which is a boring person. If you're
Which,
an analytics person, we appreciate you, but you're
Yeah.
probably not a great personality at a party.
Get out of your mom's basement. Go have some fun
Go
every
have
now
some
and then.
fun. Get out of the.
Put the calculator down, dude.
Please.
Come on. But thank you. But yeah, that was cool. So Solos started off with a big Marshmello concert.
Yeah, it was cool.
It was cool, yeah.
It was cool.
They just had to throw him in there. I don't know why Marshmello is such a big part of Fortnite.
I don't know. I mean, he's got good
makes
music.
good music.
I like his music a lot. I noticed, and maybe this was just because they didn't have like the whole stadium mic'd up or whatever, but I don't know that if you're Marshmello, if like a bunch of like gaming fans are like that's probably not.
Well, so here's the reason that would do that, because I don't know, maybe a year ago or so, Marshmello did a concert in Fortnite that was like
wild.
live.
I saw that.
And
that was amazing.
Since then, he's been like a huge part of all this stuff, their skins and everything. So these kids who like watching or like playing Fortnite, they know who Marshmello is. And for him to be in this tournament we're watching, in this World Cup, oh my gosh, that's probably huge.
Yeah. So, yeah, he was great. They also had just like another floor DJ. It was like some Asian guy in a suit. Did you see that guy? That guy was getting it.
he was going a little too hard.
Oh my gosh! I was sitting there watching that. Like, is this even real? Like, is this pre-recorded? This guy's just flipping the tuner left and right.
Yeah, I thought that little disc was about to pop off.
No, dude, he was popping off.
He was going hard.
But yeah. Anyway, the Marshmello concert was cool. I did notice because I was always watching the crowd. Crowd was not. I mean, they weren't as into it as I wanted them to be.
What was it, like 8,000 people or 18,000 people that you fitness?
It's got to be 18,000 because that was a huge arena.
Yeah.
But I did see empty seats at some points.
Oh, no, for sure. I think Solos was the biggest crowd, and it still wasn't full, I don't believe.
No.
But so watching this Marshmello concert was super cool, throwing in all this, like, AR and stuff.
Yeah. Oh, the little bubble.
All the like little balloons and stuff floating around, like it was just looking like it was actually there.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, it wasn't. That's cool stuff, dude.
I love it.
So there's these glasses that my old roommate Alan used to have. They were called Oculus. I think that's
Oculus
not right.
Rift?
No, sorry.
It's
a Hollow, something like that.
Okay.
I'm botching the name.
Sure.
But there are these glasses that you can put on that's actually like AR. And so you can use your hands and throw up a menu over here and then place a ship or whatever in this side, and it like measures the room. So like they're taking this technology and they're just putting it into something real. Super cool stuff. I thought that was done very, very well.
Right. And they've been very clutch at their execution because this is kind of a lot of this stuff is kind of the first time we've seen it.
HoloLens.
But like even the Marshmello concert that they did like a year ago, you have one chance to pull that off, and it went off seamlessly. It was great.
Yeah. Still, as we said before, the production and just the quality of content that Fortnite puts out,
it's top tier.
It's top, yeah.
Top tier.
I don't know what those design and all the people involved in that are making, but give them more money.
Yeah, no, seriously.
Give them more.
That's got to be, if you're in that field as far as like what you do for a living, that's got to be one of the best companies to go work for.
I would say so, yeah.
So
you're putting out new content every week.
Yep.
Yeah. So that was cool. Marshmello concert was whatever.
Yep.
And then they went on to the actual solos tournament, which was pretty huge. They introduced all these players. You got these big names of everybody coming out. A lot of big people coming out with everything. The biggest name that competed in the solos tournament was definitely Tfue.
Yeah.
Did you see what he was wearing?
No, what was he wearing?
He had like this cheetah print vest and like skirt on. He looked hysterical, dude. It was so funny.
Did I miss that? Because I just saw the picture of him sitting down, and he reminded me of somebody I grew up with. But man, he's not like the most handsome guy,
Whatever. I don't really know.
Like Tfue World Cup. Let's see.
But yeah, he had this vest on, and he just showed up, and people were asking. I think he tweeted about it before.
Oh, he looks like
Looks like Macklemore. Yeah, that's
and,
for sure.
Yeah, thrift stop or thrift
shop.
Thrift shop. I can't say that, but yeah, he looks exact.
That's for sure.
Oh, good for him.
Yeah, but he had that on, I think, just the first game, and then he got frustrated and I think took it off just to kind of get more comfortable.
Yeah,
I would definitely do the same thing.
Ridiculous. That's cool though. Good for him, Tfue. You look good, bud.
Yeah, no, for sure. But they had a lot of people competing in this from all over the world. Some of the same people who competed in the duos tournament were also in the solos tournament as well.
Right.
Which is probably assumed by most people that would be the case.
Yeah.
But yeah, there were a lot of big names in there as well that people who keep up with professional Fortnite realize there.
And I guess the one thing that I was surprised, and this is probably just me because I don't follow Fortnite as closely as others, but the guys that I see streaming it on Twitch were not the people that were in the top of these lists.
No, yeah, that's definitely true. Yeah, like Ninja and Tinda Tatman, Dr. Lupo, all these people who...
Yeah, well, and look at Tfue, too. He wasn't even in the top 10.
No,
he's
not
a
at all.
huge streamer.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah, none of these guys were in...
They were not in contention.
I don't even know if... I'm sure that they went through the trials of everything. I know it was a lot of work to go through everything. That's a gruesome thing.
Right.
It was like 9 weeks of qualifiers. That's a lot of...
And if you don't get week 1, then you're committed to week 2. You're committed to every week.
Yeah.
But, I know what they said about Bugah, which we'll get to talking more about him in a second, but he was, the very first week, he was number 1.
Yep.
So.
And he won outright by a big margin. So.
That's huge.
If you were a betting man, putting money on him probably would have been a smart move.
Man, that brings up a good point. When are we going to be able to start betting on these things in Vegas?
You could have bet on this.
They actually had.
Yeah.
No way.
I know that a few online websites like Bovada and stuff like that all had odds on this.
That would have been fun.
It would have been cool.
I
thought about doing it.
I love gambling. And yeah, you've done that before.
Oh, yeah.
Like you've bet on soccer games and some other stuff, right?
I've won a good dime. I've lost a good dime.
Sure. Yeah, that's the way it goes.
I'm even, for sure. Lifetime.
That's the way it goes. Yeah, sure. But that's pretty cool. So, this was a great tournament. I definitely saw more emotion from the players in this one more than anything. But I think it was because there was more prize money on the line.
Dude, I tell you what. Yeah. Everyone was serious.
Yeah. Yeah. There was
besides Tfue showing up in some cheetah print, but
right. But
whatever.
Someone had to kill the vibes. But
yeah.
I mean, the one guy who kept his cool more than anybody though was Bugah. If you watched him, the way he I watched how he was sitting in his chair. He was laid back, like he was chill.
Yeah, you got to play how you're comfortable. That's for sure.
Right, and so he was very composed. And there were a couple times they were saying like you could see him smiling. He just kind of knew that he was doing super well. The other thing I noticed too is like I don't know how you play games, but like my mouse sensitivity is super high. These guys must have low sensitivity because their arms are throwing the whole time.
Yeah.
You watch it.
That's for sure. I looked up a couple of these guys, and they have, like, their statistics on what they do.
Really?
And
I'd love to know.
One of them is, like, .008. So that's, like, moving it, like, all over the damn place.
Yeah, you're throwing your arm right and left about a foot to get that.
They say it's not a workout playing video games.
You got a Popeye arm.
Tell you what, that right bicep and tricep are going to be thick, baby.
Just huge.
That's funny.
That's awesome.
But what's crazy about watching this tournament, this solo tournament, compared to like playing a normal game of Fortnite, there were over like half of the people left when it got to like 5 circles in.
Right.
So it was just like so packed in this little circle, and everyone's just building and moving and editing and moving and building and editing and climbing up and going down. Shockwave and going over here, getting in front of the circle.
Yep. That's when I watched that. I said I could never do this.
Absolutely not.
No,
my reaction time I believe is pretty good.
Right.
But watching this, no way.
Yeah, changed your mind a little bit.
No way. It's just incredible the receptors that they have, just how fast they can just think to do stuff.
Well, and
Unreal.
so I think you the way that you changed the way that you play in this tournament a little bit different than you might actually play Fortnite regularly, because
Yeah, they would only have like 2 or 3 guns.
right, and especially when you get down to like the last 20 people, the difference between 20 and 19 and 18 is big money. So you go, okay, do I camp and just hope that somebody else kills somebody else in an effort to kind of just prolong? And
Right.
I saw a lot of that where they would just build up something around them and then just continue to kind of keep that defense up. Of course, if somebody's pushing you, you're going to push back. But I saw a lot of camping. I saw a lot. The people who were the most successful were the ones who got high ground. And I realized
That's always the case.
Yeah, it really just placement was huge if you wanted to do well. And sometimes, depending on the size of the storm, you may or may not have as much control over where you are. But it's a smart man's game in that, okay, my long-term goal is to get to the final circle, but also to be as high as possible.
Right.
So what do I do from point A to point B to make that happen?
Yeah.
So there's a lot of meta gaming involved with this as well.
No,
It's not
definitely
just
so.
pushing.
Definitely so. Yeah, I think that's just crazy.
Yeah, it was fun to watch.
I would never be able to do that.
No.
I want to still, my reaction in Fortnite is I'm going to outshoot this guy.
Right.
Oh, he's building? I'll just shoot that building down.
It's not how it goes.
No.
Yeah.
That's why
That's
why I barely missed the World Cup.
I mean, you were so close.
Barely.
I
Maybe
know.
next year.
If resource management is going to be your goal for next year, is going to be ammo and resource management, because that's what kept you out this year.
Yeah. So whenever they got down, this point on chat, when they got down to the top 5, the circle was
Pencil
as big
thin.
as one individual character.
Right.
And they would just go from top to bottom, shockwave themselves up just to try to get a little bit of advantage. They know they're going to be taking damage from the storm.
Right.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it was wild to watch. Yeah, because you go in and out, and if by the time that thing closed up, if you weren't in it and didn't have a way to get in without taking bullet damage, that was probably when you died.
Yeah. No, the circle definitely did some serious damage whenever it got that small.
Man, it was cool to watch. And again, it just really made me feel like, this is as a casual gamer watching this, I go, there's probably not an avenue for me to get into this action without quitting my job.
Oh yeah, no, definitely.
My wife Molly would have to support me on a teacher's salary. We would be living in a 1-bedroom efficiency for this to even be a possibility, and even then, I don't know that I'd be good enough.
Yeah. Well, luckily, that's probably why all these guys who are so young are able to do this.
Right, and
Because
that
they
we
don't
talked
have
about that earlier.
Yeah, they don't have that responsibility of having to
No.
provide. And if they get good enough, they can provide doing this.
Right, and if your parents, imagine you're Bugah, you just pulled down $3 million. Your dad, like when you get home after this trip's like,
I'm gonna pull
"Hey
this up.
son, can you take the trash out?" What do you say if you're Bugah?
Yeah. So I want y'all to look at this name. I mean, if you're listening, you can't see it. It's spelled Bugha. My guess, when this guy originally created this gamer tag, the way he pronounced it in his head was Bugah. Like, I'm a booger, like in your nose.
Probably.
But when he started to become a little bit better at this game, thinking, that's probably not how I should pronounce this if I'm thinking
That
people
could
want
be.
to. Or maybe someone said something to him, and he's like, you know what? Maybe I'll just call it Bugah.
Yeah.
That's an O. That's not a U. It's an
Sure.
O. Bugah. How weird.
Yeah, there's some weird names out there. Like, what is Fatch? What does that even mean?
Fatch?
Fatch? It almost sounds like a bad word. I know it's not.
Yeah, I don't know.
But
Everyone
I
has
like
creative.
saw him, like, that's such a legendary name. Like, that's really cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, Bugah, whatever, Bugah.
That's a cool name. But
It's
anyway, Bugah came out on top, $3 million of prize money.
We got to talk to him via email.
Yeah, dude. So I
When this
reached
happened?
out to Bugah, and apparently, because I wanted to try to get him on the podcast. We're a small podcast.
For now.
Whatever.
For now.
Yeah, for now we're growing. I
Not
think
for long.
I think last week we got 6 million listens. Nothing big. But yeah, I sent him an email trying to see if he wants to get on the podcast because he has his email address up there on his Twitter. bio.
Yeah.
Send him an email just congratulating him and everything. Let me just actually pull this up and read exactly what I said because I thought it was very sincere, professional, and everything. But again, I'm going towards a 16-year-old.
Right.
That's my first thought with this, going towards a 16-year-old. I said, wow. First off, huge congratulations. We loved watching your performance today during that epic World Cup solos final. You freaking deserved the win. You put on a heck of a performance. So I know you're going to be crazy busy this week, but wanted to know if we could get 10, 15 minutes every time for a little phone call to see if we can get you on the Always Be Gaming podcast and talk about your win at the Fortnite World Cup and what's coming up in the future. Let us know what this might take to happen. Sincerely, Corbin with the Always Be Gaming podcast. So I said that thinking he's not going to ever read this, whatever. If he does, he's not going to reply. No big deal. But let me put this in here before I say what he responded with.
You're going to bleep that out, right? You're going to bleep this response out.
Right after he got finished with the winning, his Twitter and Instagram, everything, all of his social accounts got hacked. And so it wasn't him or any of his team running this stuff. And so this email was most likely, I'm still guessing, was responded by this hacker. And the response I got was, no, F off, retard, I'm rich.
Now, I kind of wish that was the real response.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, just because it would be hilarious, but because it's like, no, now that I've got money, I don't have to be nice anymore.
Dude, yeah, but that's like the little cocky response. Psh, I'm not talking to you, dude. I'm
old
rich.
Man, I'm rich. I'm 13. Suck it.
I got $3 million. What are you going to pay me to make me come on this podcast?
When you sent me that, I was like, there's something not right here. So I hit up the Twittergrams, and I think the only account he had left was his own Snapchat, because he sent out a thing on Snapchat that said, guys, my Twitter's been hacked.
Okay.
So his Twitter, his email, obviously, I don't think that would be his response.
No, dude. Oh my
There's no way. I don't care. I mean, if you, no one's that.
Hey man,
horrible.
F off, retard. I'm rich.
I'm rich. Yeah. I mean, I don't have a girlfriend, and my parents drive me around everywhere, but I'm rich. Like,
hey, he's 16. He's probably buying a Bugatti now.
I don't know what he's a Bugah.
He's got a Bugatti.
Wow.
Yeah, that's funny.
He needs to get one. Put Bugah on the back of the plate.
A little marketing,
That's an idea.
That won't happen.
That's pretty good.
Anyway, I thought that was hysterical. At first, I was pissed. I was like, this little dweeb going to email this back to me? Come on, are you kidding me? How unprofessional is this?
Right. Well, and I told you, I think that I felt a little bad, and I was like, I don't know that I'm going to be a fan after this, if this is the real thing.
Yeah.
I'm still a fan.
Oh, yeah, dude. Yeah, for sure. I'm a fan of this hacker, too.
Yeah,
if you get in there and respond to emails like that, that's super funny.
No, good for him. That's pretty good.
That's hysterical.
That's pretty good.
But yeah, come to find out he was hacked. Oh, well, moved on. I'll send him another email some other time down the road, and we'll get him on. Try to get these other guys on. If y'all know someone y'all want us to have on the podcast, reach out to them. Tell them to come on here. We'll reach out to them and tell them as well. So be sure to let us know what you want to do.
Oh, yeah. So it was a great into the weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Before we move on to QuakeCon, just a big reminder, everyone, follow all of us on socials to keep up with everything. You can follow the podcast itself on Twitter. You can follow it always the letter B, Game In, no G on that. Always Be Gaming Pod on Twitter. And you can follow us on Instagram at Always Be Gaming Pod, which is spelled normal, on Instagram and everything there. And you can follow me at Corbin Absher on all social medias and everything. Matt, where can people find you?
On Twitter at SurvivorIV.
Well, awesome. So what else did we do this weekend? We know Fortnite was a big thing, but there was also a cool event going on here locally in DFW.
Yeah. So at the Gaylord Texan, big hotel and resort, was QuakeCon. This was the 24th QuakeCon, but the 25th year of Doom. So they called it QuakeCon Year of Doom. There was some swag running out there that said DoomCon, because I guess there's not really a DoomCon, but this was the year that they focused on Doom. The first day, they did a big panel where they showed, hey, here's Doom Eternal, which is the big release coming out in November.
New game.
Yeah, new game. The last Doom was kind of a relaunch of the whole series. So Doom 1 that recently came out, I think it was 2 years ago or something, was awesome. It was a great game. It was very well received. Everybody loved it.
Yeah.
So everybody's pretty hyped about this. They did have Doom Eternal at QuakeCon to test. We tried to.
I wasn't waiting in the line.
No, there was a line, and you got in line to get a time, and they say, "Hey, come back at this time." The time that the time between you actually get the time and the time that you come back is like 2.5 hours, and unless you are a part of the tournament or you did the BYOC, which is bring your own computer, and we'll talk about that in a second.
Sure.
Unless you're actually like attending con as a participant, there is no reason that you can't finish out QuakeCon in like a couple hours. So we weren't gonna wait around. But
that's for sure. We got there around 10 o'clock or so Sunday, which you went there Saturday as well.
Yeah, I've still got my little wristband. These are pretty dope.
Yeah, I cut that off as soon as I got home. I'm being honest.
I'm gonna leave it on until I'm gonna give it at the
until next year.
Yeah. I'm gonna give it back to them next year.
I'll take this crap
Say,
back.
hey, you want this? You wanted this back, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. No, you didn't. That's weird.
Okay.
Now I'm weird. So, anyway, but I went Saturday. There's probably more people there. By the time we got there on Sunday, people were already kind of taking off. But so let's again. This was probably the longest running. It was not an esports thing at first. It was just we're about 80 to 100 dudes who really like gaming on this game. Let's get together, bring our computers, and LAN up. LAN up for the kids, that means local area network.
I had no idea what that meant.
Right. No one does this anymore, but before there was internet, before there was anything, you would have to take your computers and all link them up together with, cords.
Halo 2?
Halo 2, the original. Right? So you would cord them
1v1
up,
me, bro.
and you could play together, but only via that local area network. So you didn't have online like we do today. Now, what we do whenever we show up at QuakeCon is everybody just runs their cord to Ethernet, and you get online and you just hook up online. But you just all happen to be in the same building.
Yeah.
So it's not really a LAN. It's like a throwback to LAN, what LAN used to be. So anyway, the BYOC though, I feel like is really really cool to run through.
There were a bunch of computers there. Do you know exactly like how many?
3,000. They had
3,000.
They had 3,000 booths with computers. These people flew from across the country with their computers. Which one is a huge gamble.
Not doing that.
I mean, well, maybe. I mean, I would with yours. That thing is.
Dude, come on now.
I'm not.
You're hating on my stuff
on your rig. I mean, dude. First of all, that if you showed up with that, people would be like, "Man, what? This guy hasn't heard about us."
I perform with what I got.
Look, I can't even see the inside. I can't even see the guts of your computer right now.
You don't need to. They work.
They work. All right.
So there were other people's computers there, though.
There were a lot of other people's computers. But here's the wild thing about it. So you have 3,000 booths. They literally sold out like within the first week that they were selling these, which was months ago.
That's crazy.
So people buy these booths. You get your own booth. If you're quick, you can get booths for like your whole gaming crew. So we saw not just individuals, but also like what do you want to call them? A clan or
organization
or an org, right? An org that we're all playing together and hanging out together. So maybe next year, ABG will be out there. Maybe we can get a few booths together,
dude, for sure,
and take our rigs out.
I'll bring my
bring your black rig.
Top tier.
It's
top tier PC, baby.
Mid tier.
You think what you want, but I won't.
Mine's got a glass on the side. Looks really cool.
But there were a lot of cool PCs there. They had all these different lights going all through them. One of them had like liquid nitrogen or whatever the hell the thing was flowing through there.
Yeah, liquid cooling.
Coolant.
Liquid cooling. That's a thing. Yeah, but the one that I think won was the one that we saw. So like they also have a computer, championship, just whoever's got the coolest one.
Right.
And they bring them up all on stage, and so the guy who won. Yeah, the guy who won had this thing that was real long and curved, and each individual fan was built into the bottom and blowing up. But then you had a percolator of like water cooling above each one of those. It just looked dope. I'll tweet out something here in a bit with a picture of it. It was by far my favorite. And then his screen was long and curved, and just the contour of it fit perfectly up against the computer. So it was just beautiful.
It's very easy put together.
Yeah. I think the second place one was one that looked like Mario Kart.
That was pretty cool.
And it actually rolled around.
That was pretty sweet.
Yeah.
That's pretty sweet.
So that was cool.
They had a lot of PCs there. We walked around that, saw a lot of stuff there too. Yeah. They had an actual e-sport event going on too.
That's the new thing that has recently been brought into play, probably within like the last 5 or so years. So,
what game were they playing? They were playing Quake.
Quake Champions specifically.
Quake Champions.
They did other Quake games, like they did like a Quake 2 like speed run trials, like where they would have people individually go up there, and it's like an any percent speed run. So that just means how far can you get in the game within 30 minutes, whatever. I find that kind of boring.
Right. Yeah,
I want to see people killing each other.
Right.
Not me playing a storyline and how far can I get in 30 minutes.
So I know what the game Quake is, but it's not a very mainstream game. Kind of explain a little bit what that game actually is.
So you have Doom and you have these other titles that they've made at id Software and Bethesda and all that. Quake is kind of like a Smash Brothers style where they're bringing characters in from different franchises all under one hood, and then those characters each have their own abilities based on what their character would have in the game that they're from, and then you throw them all in one arena. You have a list of like 8 or 9 guns that you can pick up. It's a very fast-paced shooter. I mean, you're running.
It looked very, very, very fast.
It's very fast-paced. So for people like us that we're talking about, we have mediocre reaction times.
Oh, we're fast, just not Fortnite fast.
We're not Fortnite fast. These people are Fortnite fast, but there's no building or anything like that. It's just you're flicking and shooting.
Right.
But anyway, so that was Quake Champions, but they were doing some Doom esports as well, and I think the ones that were the any percent speed runs and stuff were the Doom games.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean it was cool to watch.
It was cool to watch that. They had it was a 1v1 game that they had set up. They had each one of the gamers sitting right across from each other. You could stare the other one in the eye, tell them how much they suck or how good they are, whatever you want to do, any kind of trash talk. And then they had the commentators booth over to the side of them, and they had all these like 6 different huge cameras on them. The production that just went into this, which honestly I didn't know was that big of a deal, was huge. They put a ton of work into this production.
Yeah, we got to see specifically one guy from Brazil in his 1v1. I think he was like number 19 in the world or something like that, but he was doing very well at the con.
Yeah.
And they were talking to him, and I forget his name. I'm looking for
Started with an N.
Yeah, I can't remember. But he was good. And I remember there were some points during the game where he was kind of flashing a little bit. He would take a drink of water mid-game.
He was getting a little cocky there. It's like
doing
doing a little dance in Fortnite in the middle of the game. I think there was a couple people who actually did that during that tournament.
Yeah. So that was fun to watch. But yeah, so again, you have multiple regions represented. This was also the first year that they did QuakeCon EU. So over across the pond in London, they were doing a QuakeCon for the very first time as well. I have to imagine on a much smaller scale. Because this has always been Dallas, Texas has always been the home.
You don't think the Europeans are going to put on a big show?
I mean, they probably would, but I think most of obviously they were doing all the big reveals here, so whatever they're seeing over there, it's just going to be live streamed, So they're getting a stream of it. I mean, I'm sure they had the BYOC and all that, but we'll see if it grows.
Yeah, but no, I definitely think it was a cool event. Now you went on Saturday.
Hmm?
They said that they had brought back a big
cosplay.
Yeah. Did you see people dressed up?
I saw some. Yeah. And you always get the mixed bag that you get at any other cosplay.
I've yet to go to any kind of cosplay event.
It's fun, man. It's cool.
I want to go to that and interview a lot of people.
Yeah, right. And I wish we had gone on Saturday. We could have maybe asked, kind of, hey, what is your mindset going into this?
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm really this person.
I'm sure people believe that.
Yeah, but there were some good ones. There's some ones that are clearly meme worthy, and that's the joke. Is I'm doing this to bring laughs, not to bring quality. But I saw some ones where you go, wow, these people put in hours and hours. So
yeah, cool. There's a lot of people that do that. They take it very, very seriously. It's crazy.
So that was fun. And then they had a really cool vendor hall. You know, I really like Filthy Casual Company. They're just an apparel company that make really cool gamer gear.
Yeah, we got to talk to them a little bit.
Yeah, and then Balls Energy was there. We both had a Balls. And
had a Balls, never heard of it.
Never heard of it.
Never buy one again.
Yeah, they're not great.
No.
I saw you drinking on yours. I saw you drinking on yours. I was like, I hope he doesn't feel like he has to drink this because I bought it. I appreciate that. But like, we had to buy a third one because they're like $5 minimum. And they're $2 each. So I have that third one sitting in my car getting hot right now.
Perfect.
I'll probably just throw it away.
That's probably good.
So we'll probably never get them as a sponsor now because we're dogging them.
Yeah, Balls.
Sorry, guys.
Make a better product.
Yeah, yes. They were like one of the first energy drinks ever. You know, it was like, you know,
yeah,
open season.
Whatever.
Then, so.
You make something good, you never change.
Yeah,
you don't grow.
That's
Whatever.
right.
But that was cool. Well, that was kind of different to do. I'm glad we did that. I know we're gonna go to some other events in the future.
Oh yeah.
Should be a lot of fun to actually get out there with some gear. We do have some actual shirts ordered and hats ordered that will actually be in our possession to be able to give out to y'all or to sell to y'all. We're not giving out anything, we're trying to make a little money.
Yeah. This ain't a charity. This is not the Creative and Pro-Am Fortnite World Cup.
Yeah, exactly. But we'll have that stuff here coming soon. Just some hats that say the Always Be Gaming Podcast, shirts with the bull on front and podcast logo on the back. There's also stuff, like I've said before, you can find on the website up above me, the abgperformancewear.com. Has a lot of shirts, hats, coffee mug, long sleeve, pullover, sweatpants. Cool little stuff to hang out.
Stuff looks good, man. I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm excited to rep that.
I'm excited for it too. Don't have a promo code for y'all yet, but coming soon. We'll definitely get like a little 10, 15% off. Maybe next week we'll have that.
Yeah. Well, maybe one of these days we'll see about like a giveaway. Like if there's some people
sure.
like in here watching with us or something like that, we maybe do like a giveaway.
Yeah, no, that's a good idea. It's a good idea.
Get some people in here.
This weekend, people who want to tune in, any kind of sport, honestly, Big X Games summer event is going on in Minneapolis, Minnesota.
With esports.
With esports at it. Now, I don't know. I believe this is the first year that there's an esports event at the X Games.
Probably.
I'm probably wrong on that.
But I mean, I feel like we would have heard about that.
Let's see what this Google machine has to say.
Google's on the machine. Yeah.
Either way.
But, I mean, we're seeing a more widespread acceptance of esports alongside real sports, which whether or not you consider it a real sport, and after our first podcast, I was talking to somebody I know who had listened in, and he was like, it's not a real sport. I can agree to some of those points. I honestly can. I mean, but it's if you look at the definition of sport, it's not just saying physical.
Yeah.
No. Sport is a very wide.
So they're only playing one game this weekend at
which
this
is
event,
what?
Which is Apex Legends.
That's awesome.
The most athletic game out.
Please, let's just call it what it is. That's amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
I'll watch that.
I'll watch that too because I love Apex.
I think this is going, who's an old professional player for TSM.
Cool.
I think there's going to be a few other streams there, Crafty, some guys. So I would definitely tune in and watch that. I'll be watching a lot of esports, a lot of the X Games as well. I like watching.
Did you watch? This was maybe like 7 or 8 years ago, but there was the guy on the big drop-in ramp skateboarding. Dude went up in
the
air.
half pipe?
Yeah, in the half pipe. Went up in the air, fell down like 25 or 30 feet, hit the floor. His shoes blew off, and he was like unconscious. Do you remember this?
No.
On YouTube? Man, I forget the guy's name, but it was like I'll never forget it. It was the biggest X Game moment I've ever seen because the dude was out cold and then ended up living. But like literally dropped like 30 feet to the ground. X Games get wild. It's cool.
Yeah. What do you say? Who's Matt Brown?
Matt Brown?
That could be it.
No, I'm gonna Google it real quick. Anyway, but what sports do you like for X Games? I mean,
like
we're getting
watching
outside of esports now. But what?
That's fine. I like watching a lot of that skating and stuff because I was never good at skating. I always admired people who were.
Yeah,
it was cool to watch. Yeah, y'all be sure to tune in to the Apex tournament. It'll be fun to watch. this might be the first actual like professional tournament of it that's broadcasted on a big network.
Yeah.
Outside of like Twitch rivals and stuff.
Well, and by the way, it was Jake Brown. Whoever said that. Matt Brown was close. Jake Brown.
Okay.
But did you see that ESPN was covering Fortnite World Cup?
Yeah, they had
weekend?
a lot of coverage
like
there.
all 3 days.
It was crazy.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It was on ESPN. And then
It was on top 10. There was a top 10 of some plays.
That's cool. I mean, that is some widespread acceptance. And for those out there that don't like it, you might as well just get used to it.
Yeah.
So
shut up or nut up.
You've always said that.
That's my motto.
Is that under your family crest?
It's actually my middle name.
Yeah.
Corbin, shut up or nut up, Absher.
Wow.
My dad was
he's a good daddy.
loving.
He's a good daddy. So yeah, so I'll be watching a little bit of that for sure. It'll be fun. But
it'll be good. But yeah, we got that going on. Got a good time coming up.
What games you played this weekend? And
this weekend?
You played a little Fortnite.
So yeah, Fortnite. Fortnite's coming up. Season 10 was announced.
Yeah.
And they're kind of making it looks like they're going back to like season 1 and stuff.
Yeah.
Like redoing like Dusty Divot and stuff. They didn't really give too much details yet. But I'm definitely going to be working on my craft at that.
That'll be cool.
I did get one victory royale earlier.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Quads, duos,
it was
solo?
Quads with randoms. Got 5
carried?
kills, I think. 4 or 5 kills.
You got 4 or 5 kills?
Yeah, it's like, no,
That's
I was
cool.
getting warmed up.
That's nice.
It was good. Yeah, I'll be playing that. Maybe a little bit of Apex. Probably not. I'm just pissed off at that game.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it.
Cool, man.
You got anything else you want to hit on?
Nah, man. I'm just chilling, man. I'll probably get into Fortnite again just because all of the hype of this World Cup kind of got my eyes back on it.
No, definitely so.
It's definitely in the radar again.
Definitely so.
I'll be checking out to see if maybe the new season is something I might pick up, but it's just been a long time. So, but otherwise now Apex, man, just loving that. I got two battle. No, what do we call the win on Apex? What do you call it?
A win? I don't know.
I got a victory twice today.
Champion squad?
Champion. I got champion twice today. I don't know.
I don't know what's going on.
I don't know. Anyway, but nah, playing that, and then there's some cool games on Switch right now. I'm playing.
Yeah. Anyone want to play stuff with me? I'll be on Xbox.
Yeah.
GT is please me slowly. It's I've had it for a while, so don't hate me. I think it's legit, dude. My name is sweet. I get laughs every game.
Every time. That's ridiculous.
Hit me up if y'all want to play some games. If y'all want to carry me to some victories on Fortnite, I'd love that.
And y'all hit him up, and then if he's playing with y'all, he'll hit me up.
Yeah.
Don't contact me directly, please. No, that's fine. Survivor IV on pretty much everything.
Yeah, well, awesome. Again, y'all can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Corbin Absher. You can follow the podcast at the links you see up above that way. Over the other corner. Yeah, that corner over there. Always just the letter B, Game In Pod at Twitter. And always be Game In Pod on Instagram. We'll post a lot of stuff from this weekend and stuff going on with this X Games. Thank you all for tuning in, man.
Hey, thanks for being here. This has been fun once again.
Absolutely.
Crushing it.
Yeah. Peace out, everybody.
Peace.
Until next time.